you gave up all your royalties, and you get to pay them this much money to use a master. And let's hope, you know, you can get Akon on it and it's a hit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no other way it makes sense. If you want to eat, you know, if you want to have retirement money, you know. So.
Did that also contribute to you getting stuff that requires you, I guess, to do more original composition stuff? Like,
definitely.
Like
I mean, it was a natural progression, and it does push me to want to have sample-free stuff because I want to play on that level too, somewhat, you know. But you know, I think at the end of the day, it's the end result and how it sounds. You know what I mean? Like all the sampling and all that stuff. Like I like it all, man. You know what I mean? From a Timbaland to Primo, like you know, I can hear anything and like appreciate what these guys are doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. If someone's putting their heart into it and making crazy sounds from thin air, like I'm with it. You know, wherever it came from, if it makes my neck move. So.
Anybody else got any questions about Reason or recycling?
Is it easier to clear like random shit that you never heard before, like international stuff?
I mean, to be honest with you, every case is different, man. I mean, you'd expect the more rare of a record would be easier to clear, I guess, versus like a top 40 hit. And I guess that's a general rule. That's cool, man. But with how the whole publishing thing works with artists, like you never know who sold out their publishing and has a publishing deal. You know what I mean? Like when we did this song with Dilated, we did this song called Worst Come to Worst. And like this is like a sample nightmare story, I'll tell you, dog. It's like, first of all, the music was this record, William Bell, the soul record, so we cleared that. And that was Stax. And they're just like, their attitude, you know, I don't know what other labels' attitude, but theirs is kind of like, yeah, we'll let you sample us as long as like you're not derogatory and you're not like, you know, saying, you know, bitch, ho, and all, you know, just being like ignorant. You know, they're pretty cool, but you know, they knew they had us. They're just like, okay. And the way sample clearance works is there's like two bills. There's like two bills you got to pay. One is the master usage. Like if you use an actual recording from someone, that's one part of the bill you got to pay. And then the second half is the songwriting side of it. So whoever owns songwriting credits on that song, they also own the other half. So when we went to go clear this William Bell song, it's like, okay, you guys can use it, but we want to, for the master usage, we want $15,000. And for the songwriting usage, we'll take another $15,000. And then as far as the future royalties go, we're going to take 50% of all future royalties. Okay? So you imagine, this is between myself, Alchemist, Evidence, and Rocco. We're split. So we have 50% left, and there's 4 of us. And then we had this clever idea to scratch our homie Havoc from Mobb Deep. You know, worst come to worst, my people's come. So, you know, we're still kind of ripe at that time. I mean, we understood what was going on, but we're like, oh, Havoc's, you know, we know Havoc kind of through Al, and it'll be cool, man, because we know him, and you know what I mean. Little did we know, Mobb Deep at the time had they had a publishing deal. They're like, for a certain amount of time, they gave up their publishing to a company to get cheesed out, and now, you know, they're in the business of licensing their music and collecting the royalties. So for scratching Havoc, you know, what was cool was we didn't have to pay anything. You know, they didn't take any cash off the top, but then they took another 25% of our future earnings. So one of our biggest, if we ever had a hit record, you know what I'm saying, like, if we ever had a hit record, you know, or close to anything like that was worse come to worse, and like, we all see like pennies off that, man. So, and I wouldn't change a thing about it, man. Like, it's what it is, and there's no way some musicians could have replayed that magic that we caught in the studio. So I have no regrets, man. Like, it's opened up so many doors for us. We got paid in ways that we'll never even know, but it is something to think about when you're doing it, man. It's just like, we paid so many dead and old relatives of people before we paid ourselves over the years. It's like, if I look at what we spent on all 4 albums to pay other people, it's like, I cringe, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I literally cringe. I'm like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, I wish we would have lied or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So it's just something to think about, man. It's like where you want to play, man. And we made that decision. We consciously knew, like, we're gonna play on this level. We got to clear samples, man. And it's
how was Capitol? Were they like, oh my